And welcome to Grandad's Reviews. Today we're going to have a look at custom settings on the Fuji cameras. Now, in the owner's manual it says you can save up to 7 sets of custom camera settings for commonly encountered situations. Save settings can be recorded using image quality settings. Select custom settings. You can also put that in your Q menu. So if you go into your Q menu on here, you can have your custom settings easily found. Now let's have a look at what we can save, how we can save, and how we can bring those back. So if we go into the menus, we go to the IQ section and scroll all the way down, and we get to edit, save, custom settings. And if we go into there, you can see you've got 7 slots. Now if you've never set anything up before, they'll all be on standard. So let's go into custom settings 7. So if you go into there, you can, first section you've got, you can save the current settings that you've already set up on the camera. So if you've changed things like dynamic range and the color profiles and the white balance, you can just save all those as they are. Or you can actually go down and change the individual settings. So you can change dynamic range priority, film simulation, and if you're in black and white, I change that to across, then you'll get black and white adjustment, warm and cool. So I'll just leave that standard. You can put the grain effect on, color chrome effect, white balance. I'll come back to the white balance. You can change the highlight tone, shadow tone, colour, sharpness, noise reduction. And in this case I've put noise reduction to -2. You can then edit the custom name, so you can give it its own name. So in this case I've called it General. Now to move around the custom name, you can use these arrows, and that'll move across. You can delete a letter. So if we wanted to delete the P, I'll just call it General. You can then go, if you go to the end, you can change it to non-capitals or capitals, or symbols if you want to put symbols in, or back to capitals. And then just hit set. That's set your custom setting. If you want to start all over again, if you just go down to reset, you reset everything to whatever you want. So it says, do you want to reset to general settings? We'll go no for now. So that'll just put you back to your starting point. So there are all the settings you can actually save, and it's the same as if you've set it on the camera and you go save current settings. They're the settings it's going to save. Now in the white balance, obviously you can have auto, but you can't change the auto. So what I mean by that is, if I come out of this, if you go into white balance normally, not in that custom setting thing, you can alter the white balance, give it a shift to green, red, blue or yellow. But when you're in here, when you go to white balance, you can't change that shift. But if you've changed that auto white balance outside of there, so you've given it a yellow tinge or whatever, that will carry through to this auto white balance. You can do your custom balances. Obviously you can change the kelvins if you wanted to do it that way. You could just pick a daylight or a shade. You can pick all those, but say with auto, it is whatever's auto setting you've set previously if you've changed it, otherwise it just stays normal. So there, all the settings we can save on there. And I say then we save it. You come out and you'll say, do you want to save? Now I've got other ones set up. So now to use those, if you're at the normal screen, you just go into the IQ, select custom setting, and then you can change it. You could also put it as a shortcut on any of the programmable buttons that you've got. And what I like to do is put it in the Q menu. And it is in the Q menu as standard. If you've not changed the Q menu, then the custom settings will be in the top left hand corner of your Q menu. So just at the top there. So in the Q menu you can touch that, it is touch enabled, and we can pick. So if I pick, let's say C7, you'll see that it says just C7 and everything's changed to whatever that C7 custom setting was. And you press Q to come out of it. Now when you press Q to go back in, it says base C7. And what that actually means is the camera's using the settings of C7 as a base layer. So if you change something, so let's change the film simulation to Velvia, it still says base C7 because all the other settings are still based on C7, but you've changed Velvia. You come out of it, you're now using Velvia, but you're using the rest of the settings that's based on C7. If you click on there, you see you've got C7 and C7 base. So you can go back to C7 and you're back to the settings you saved in C7. So all it's saying is that it's going to base everything else on the settings you've got in C7. So if I let's pick C2. Now if you want to, you can scroll through these through the wheel as well, and your custom name will come up anyway. So if I do C2, which is Velvia, so I've got everything I've set in C2 is now set on the camera, and that's what it's on. Nothing's changed. Go in, it's now saying that all the settings are based on C2, but if I change anything, so let me change dynamic range to 200. My dynamic range is now changed to 200, but every other setting is still based on C2. So that's all that's saying. It's not saying that it's gone back to a different setting. It just means everything's based on the C2 custom settings. We'll go back to C7. So that's what your custom settings are. That's what you can put in those custom settings. It's just those items in there that you can actually change. You can change them outside of the actual custom settings section. So you could change your dynamic range here, change all your settings here, have that all set up and think that's what I want. You can then go into your custom settings, edit save, pick one of the slots, hit save current settings. That'll transfer all those settings that you put into it into there. You can then use them from that, put a custom name that so you know it, or you can just pick one, go in and change all those settings individually. It won't save any other of the settings, and there's nothing in there that is movie related as such. It's only when you're in stills section. That's the only time you're going to get that. So when you're in stills, you can have your custom settings. I'm not sure if that's any different on the X-T4. I haven't got an X-T4, so I haven't seen that. If anyone knows, you can actually set custom settings up for movie in the X-T4. Just put it in the comments below. And as I say, you can set one of those, any programmable button up to access your custom settings. So that's a look at custom settings on the X-T3 and other X cameras. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified, hit that bell button. Till next time, see you later.